What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our episode of the TG podcast. Of course, we're here every single Monday talking everything Arsenal. And as always, guys, welcome everyone. Massive week for Arsenal. Champions League semi-final tomorrow, first against PSG. I'm going to go all through that today and a few other pieces of news. We're talking about Saka possibly signing a new contract as well. So yeah, lots to go through today. There will be obviously the regulars. Rory will be joining us. Don will be joining us a bit later on. I think they're running a bit late, but I want to welcome to the first time to the channel. We've got Ellis. Now I met Ellis over there when I went. So I'm trying to remember the game now, Ellis. I think it was
PSV or
PSV.
Dynamo
PSV. I
Dynamo,
think it was
yeah,
PSV in the Champions League. That was it.
yeah,
When obviously we drew the 2-2 game, and
yeah,
I met Ellis over there on Arsenal Fan Focus TV. He was
yeah.
the guy behind the camera, behind the scenes. So he's we've been going back and forth, and it's great to have him on. Elias, welcome, first time on the channel, and thank you for coming on. How you doing today, my friend? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Yeah, can't wait for tomorrow. I've got family who are going. I don't know if
Wow.
Hardy's going or Hardy's going box part with Pat. I don't really know, but yeah, glad to be on here, mate. Glad to help out. Anything you want, I'm here. Sweet.
Respect, mate. As I said, guys, what I'm gonna do towards the end of the stream, I'm gonna leave the link where you can find Arsenal Fan Focus TV. And I know you were telling me backstage, but if you want to just quickly tell people where they like what you do and where they can find you as well, just before we get started, if that's okay, bro.
Yeah, cool. So I work for, I help out Arsenal Fan Focus, which is a brand new channel which we interview home fans on match days. We're usually found at the Armory doing interviews 2-3 hours before kickoff. Most every home match we've got there, we usually film in Tollington, but sometimes we go to the World's End in Finsbury Park to do if it's Amazon Prime, because my mate Harley, who's also you know as well, he was filming with
Yeah.
Pat in the World's End, and then that was the first leg. Second leg, we got given permission to film in Box Park Wembley, but yeah, finals at the game. We're usually in between the Arsenal Armory to the left of it, but yeah, we're a brand new
There we
channel, and
go.
I hope you find us out and yeah, follow us. Yeah, anything.
100%, guys. I'll leave the link for that down below as well.
Sweet.
And I think we've got Rory with us.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Rory. How's it going, mate?
Apologies, I'm late, by the way.
No worries.
Again.
Is it
No, that's fine, mate.
Wi-Fi's playing up.
the Wi-Fi settings?
So shit, honestly.
How you doing, bro? Other than that, though, you good?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Good man. This is Ellis, by the way. I just introduced him. This is Rory. He's been on there for years now. So yeah, there we go.
Not for about years.
Come on, mate. When I started this channel, you was there, bro. Like we've been doing this podcast for
Yeah,
too
but
long now,
I'm not being on here for years. What we're doing here?
bro. Come on. But yeah,
That makes me feel old. I can't lie if it's for years.
but yeah, obviously, there we go, guys. Make sure you leave all your thoughts down below. Get your thoughts in down below, the comments and all this. We'll go through them as always. Any questions you got for us, make sure you leave them down below as well. But yeah, I mean, let's just start with the big. To be honest with you, I don't really want to go back and talk about the Palace game.
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
yeah,
I don't think there's any need, people. We knew what we was gonna get.
yeah,
The 2-2 game. It was but let's just move to bigger fish. Yeah, PSG on tomorrow, first leg semi-final. Firstly, before we talk about the game overall, this is the first semi-final we've got to since 2009, and I want to start with obviously I'll come to you first, Ellis. Right? How big would you say this is for just assessing the season overall as well, bro? Considering the Premier League's been disappointing, the
yeah.
FA Cup getting knocked out, Carabao Cup getting knocked out. We're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. We've got a very good, crack at going all the way and winning the competition, in my opinion. How big would you say this is? Would you say this is like one of the biggest games since probably 2009, bro? Since the semi-final.
Yeah, because we haven't. Last time we played in a big final was 06 and we bottled it. I'd be happy if we get Barca again, give them revenge. Same with the women's team, because I saw you at the women's match as well. My mate said, wouldn't it be funny if the Arsenal women's and men's both win against Barca in the final, mate? But obviously we've had players out, we've had ups and downs in the league. Me and Harley were Oh, it was when we lost it. When we lost in the FA Cup to United on penalties. Me and Harley were right below the fans. And then we went to Newcastle. It was the first leg in the Carabao Cup, which was a lovely. I just loved watching us lose 2-0 to them. So, but yeah, Champions League is just a big step up for us, considering what is it? Bayern Munich last season, 0-0 at home, 1-0 away. Honestly, people are saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going to get through. We're going to lose. People are going to come against us." Considering we got to what was it, quarters, or was it?
Yeah, quarters last season. Yeah.
Considering that was our first time since 2011, was it 2011, 2012?
Yeah,
considering
like
that was us form, I'd say that was a good step up. Considering we've only but I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, likewise, bro. Honestly, likewise. I mean, 2009, going back to that, I think was the Ronaldo, Man United.
It was
Crazy free
United.
kick, wasn't it?
In
that, that was bad memories there, of course. So it's been
I
a while.
I don't even think it was a crazy free kick. I think it was just shit goalkeeping from
Maybe.
I can't lie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, when
when you watch it back,
yeah. But no, we're used to obviously seeing, you know, the disappointments in the round of 16, especially on the Wenger as well. It was like, you know, the Bayern Munich's, the
8-2,
Barcelona,
the old, that was, boys. We've had to go through Baku in 2019. We've had to go through
Olympiacos,
we've gone through so much stuff in the Wenger years, and then Emery came in.
So many.
But we're bouncing back now, boys. That's something to be proud of. Yeah, 5-1 on a aggregate against the best team.
Exactly.
Who've won it the most.
Yeah.
Who've got the best players. But yeah, boys, something to be proud of. Yeah, 5-1 against Madrid. We're not going to see it for a very long time.
No, I think it was up there with. I was. Let me try to think. I was probably maybe 4 or 5 years old when the Barcelona game happened. You know, Jack Wilshere. Masterclass.
I was what?
Yeah.
I'm 07, so I'm
07. Yeah, we're all the same year. So
okay, yeah. So we're all the same.
That was like what we was like 5, 6 years old. So it's very. We don't really remember a lot of it.
That was Mars Lewis Skelly against Real Madrid, pretty much.
Oh mate, yeah. I mean, but Jack Wilshere, that game was Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta. You know, I think he's like 18 as well. That game as well.
I'm trying to think.
Absolutely bossed.
Well, Barca in that like aquamarine UNICEF kit. It must have been from that year.
It must have been. Because I'm trying to think now.
Because we had what? We were in the yellow and blue. Were we? Were we still sponsored by Nike then, or did we go to Puma?
We had that yellow kit in the second leg, and I think that's when
I've got the exact same. I've got the it was with like a blue collar. Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, I think Van Persie scored that. No, he didn't score. He shoot, and then he got yellow. He got sent off. Do you remember?
Oh yeah. He did,
swear it was Nike though.
It was Nike. Yeah.
It was Nike because it was what we had Nike till we had Nike from 95.
Yeah.
Till what 2013, 14.
Then we went Puma, didn't we? And then
I've got a few kits from those Puma days from when I was a kid. I've got a few of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all the numbers are all cracking, but yeah, it's all nostalgia for me.
yeah. But that game, minus that game, I think that Real Madrid performance, but both is got to be best up there Emirates era that I've seen.
Yeah,
you know, one of the best games I've seen watching Arsenal play. And I know people say about that cup wins, you know, we've been FA Cup finals with 1 trophies there, but I'm talking about Champions League side of things. Like European sides, right? We usually just get rolled over in the knockouts. How many times have we seen it? So we went to that Real Madrid, especially I'm going to the Bernabeu, and bro, you saw the talk before the game from their fans, right? Giving it a large and talking about, you know, they even closed the roof and everything.
Yeah, people even said, Madrid are known for their comebacks
exactly
when they play at home.
What's the famous word again?
Remontada.
There we go.
I mean, it's funny because
Rice cooks better when the old
lid's on.
Lid is on at the burner.
I mean, it's funny because like since they're on about bloody remontadas, everyone produced a remontada that week. Man United, even the Arsenal women went on a remontada for God's sake the other night.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's looking very, very good. But in terms of before I come to Rory, in terms of like where we are right now as a team, before you get in more in depth about PSG, Ellis, do you think we can go all the way this season? You know, we just knocked out the heritage Real Madrid. Is he
Yeah, we can
PSG
go
to
all the
get
way
past?
easily, boys.
Do you think we go all the way and win the whole thing this season?
Yeah, we can. Obviously, beating Madrid, beating the best team we've won it the most. We've beaten Porto. We've beaten PSV, who've had class players. Yeah, it's doable. I'm confident.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. Roy, how obviously in terms of you know, how big would you say this is sort of getting to semi-final for Arsenal? You know, because as we spoke about earlier, the upsets that we've had year in year out, but now in a semi-final, last four. I know it's got to lead to something, and we got to go and win it.
Yeah.
But where would you put this up in terms of like achievement-wise, in terms of getting this far?
Well, I wouldn't say it's an achievement yet because, as you said, like we've not won the competition yet. But it's definitely like beneficial for our mentality, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because mentality is everything for, like, let's say Champions League. I would say mentality is more important in the Champions League than it is in the Premier League because you are facing these big clubs. They are absolute giants that you've got to obviously face to, win the competition. And I know we've not won the competition yet, but I think it does move us in the right direction. And although right now it's not all about progression, at the moment you can see we are slowly progressing, but at the same time, we can't be having any of this progression. It's about obviously getting over the line now. So I think where we are right now as a football club, I think right now we will beat PSG over two legs. I think at the moment, that Real Madrid game, it gives me optimism that we can. Yes, PSG are frightening on the counter-attack, and I mean like frightening. But I just think because we've beaten Real Madrid over two legs, that will give us a huge mentality shift. It really would.
Yeah.
And because we've beaten PSG early on in the league phase, I think that could play a big factor as well. Obviously, PSG didn't have Dembele and Kvaratskhelia at the time. I get that, but apart from them two, it was pretty much exactly the same team as they have at the moment. And obviously, when we played them back in 2017, we drew 2-2. And look, if we do get a draw tomorrow night, I don't think it'll be the worst result, to be honest.
No.
Because whereas Real Madrid, on the other hand, if we would have got a draw, then I would be a bit apprehensive because it's at the Bernabeu.
And then
we had to win. But at PSG, I think we are capable of scoring goals because this season, right, we've improved our away form from what it was last season. We lost to Porto, we lost to Lens. This season, we've already beaten Sporting. We've dispatched PSV by 7 goals. So we are getting better away from home. I think our mentality, even before the Real Madrid game, it was a huge shift. And I don't know what it was. It might have been the Porto game when we won on penalties. Yeah. I don't know. Or perhaps the Bayern Munich game where obviously it was the first time under Mikel Arteta that we were in the Champions League at the time. Bayern Munich still had experienced players. Now we've had a season in the Champions League. I'm going to say this now, right? If we do win it this season, it's probably one of the best English achievements an English club has ever had, to be honest. Because to do it with Marino up front, who's a centre midfielder, 28 years of age, Lewis Skelly at left back, who is a midfielder, 18 years of age, Kiwior at centre back, when arguably your best player's out injured for the rest of the season. And don't forget, Saka has been out injured for 3 months as well. And he's not even fully, match sharp. So, you know what? If we do win the Champions League this season, you do have to give it to Arteta.
That team,
right. And I mean, I got this question on my stream earlier. Like, would this, if we were going to win the Champions League, right? Would the attendance, right, on both bus parades be more on Liverpool's side of things or Arsenal? And I in the end said Arsenal because it's our first Champions League. Like, regardless of whether we were going to win the Champions League or the Premier League, let's say roles were reversed, we won the Premier League, they won the Champions League, I'd still say Arsenal.
Yeah.
When it comes to attendance, I'd say the bus parades would be at Arsenal just hectic.
It's just gonna be a sea of red, and we've we've waited what, almost 20 years for a European trophy.
Yeah,
we could have won Baku if our players were better. That would have been amazing.
Yeah,
but we didn't. We won. Arteta won FA Cup in the first season with, I'd say, probably a social experiment of a team.
Yeah.
And Arne Slot has now. My mate, who's a Liverpool fan, said, "Oh yeah, the fact that Liverpool's manager has won the league in their first season, yeah, Arteta got the FA Cup with a squad." And he said, "Oh, because it was COVID." But like, yeah, Arsenal are still gonna be bigger in London than up north, not because of our fan base, but because it's easier to get to. Like, say I come from Woolwich right now. Say I come from Woolwich. I can get there. I can get to Arsenal 45 minutes easily.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, but as I said, I reckon the turnout at Arsenal would be way more than Liverpool. That's for sure. Because
mate.
Liverpool have already won trophies in the past, haven't they?
Yeah,
they've already won the Premier League. They've already won numerous European Cups, whereas this will be our first one in about 3 decades.
Yeah, basically, almost.
Yeah.
If you want to count the European.
We never actually won the Champions League, have we? Something that Wenger even couldn't do. So imagine if Arteta would do it.
And if he wins it, then good on him. Like, he deserves a statue for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that now because he has done what numerous other managers haven't done in our history.
He brought in players, he brought in younger players.
Wenger, our most successful manager in our history. And of course, he deserves to carry on until next season. In fact, whatever he would have done if he was going to win a Champions League this season, I've brought it up about 5 times already, but if he was going to win the Champions League this season, then for me, whatever he does, like, he could get relegated the following season, and I'd still go, you know what, I respect you for what you've done, to be honest.
Yeah.
And all of that, all of this rebuild, 750 million spent on just competing, when are we going to get over the line? It may have, taken 5 years, but the patience would have been worth it.
No, 100%.
Any trophy for me, like, even if it was the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, the patience would have been worth it because he's deserved to win a trophy, the job he's done. But at the end of the day, if we continue to regress in the Premier League and we continue not to win anything, then of course we're regressing, aren't we? And it's back to the drawing board if we don't win it. And for me, the manager's got to go. But if he wins it, then look, that's when that's when he deserves to stay on, innit?
Yeah.
But for now, got to keep our feet on the ground and get past PSG first. Like, obviously, the first leg, I would like us to win, so we don't have to worry about the second leg. Because at the end of the day, the Champions League, I look at these and go, if you're in this situation, you only need to pretty much win 2 more games to win the Champions League, because you don't really want. You want to win, but you don't really need to win the second leg.
Yeah.
If you're already leading.
Yeah. Just.
So.
Yeah. To recap. Yeah. To recap on your like, if we went down, I'd say Wenger couldn't get us 5-0 win against Luton Town or 5-0 or 4-0, and boys, we were first for a good few months last season, the season before that. Wenger could only get us top 5 or top 6 at best in his last few years. Yeah. We've gone from people saying, "Oh yeah, your bottle jobs," from like what, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, United fans. Obviously, United get their trophies every few seasons. Like, they have their one good run. Like when they got Europa League one year, they got FA Cup a few years ago. But we've stepped up. We've stepped up from this club who I'd say struggled to sell tickets in that late 2010s almost.
Oh yeah.
Like it could have been the kit, the Puma days. I didn't mind the kit. People said, "Oh, the one with like the first collar on, it was like that little gold streak collar one." I've got that. I think it looks all right. People said, "Oh, it could have been the tactics." Yeah, but if you look at that team, like from 2015 to 2017, Sanchez, Giroud, Saka,
Yeah.
Ozil, they were good players, but we couldn't step up in European games.
Facts.
I.e., that Bayern Munich 8-2 loss. We had all those players on the pitch.
Was it? It's a 10-2, weren't it?
Oh,
Even
Yeah, it
worse.
was 10-2.
yeah.
I wish it was 8. No, actually, I don't. But it would have been better. Fucking 10-2. Jesus.
Yeah. But somehow we won FA Cup 15, 17, Community Shield 2-15. Yeah, but we win Community Shields every few years in the late 2010s. So, am I? Yeah, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? Like Wenger could only get us top 6 with those great players.
Yeah, it was.
Arteta bought in Ranieri, he bought in Skelly, he bought in Tavares, he bought in all these young ones.
Yeah,
and we were able to get 4-0, 5-0, Luton Town away, home, Chelsea 5-0. But yeah, it's been a good journey, boys.
Yeah, we just hope it's gonna end well as well, man. You know, and we get the Champions League this season. That'd be special for this club, man. You know, we never seen it.
Yeah. I mean, like throughout the summer, I mean, how are rival fans gonna put up with us? We will be unbearable.
Yeah,
They won't be able to chat to us. And funny enough, I didn't ask this question on my live earlier, but I wanted to ask you guys, right? If we were going to win the Champions League from like a neutral's perspective, right? Who would have had a better season, us or Liverpool?
Arsenal,
because we adapted to players like Saka being injured. We had to play Ranieri, who was basically the replacement star boy. We played Skelly, we played Calafiori, and if you remember that PSV game, Calafiori could have been a centre forward.
Yeah.
He could replace Trossard. But yeah, I'd say we've come up better than Liverpool, even though we've had these injuries. We've drawn games we weren't supposed to. We've won games which I was surprised we actually could win. But yeah.
Yeah.
And the run we had as well, man, to even get if we do go and win the whole thing.
Yeah. We've played obviously PSV, Real Madrid, PSG now, and then potentially either Barcelona or Inter Milan. I mean, look, I still have, despite Opta and that, right, I still have Barcelona favourites, to be honest, because Flick has a ridiculous record in finals, to be fair to him.
He does.
So that's the only thing that does worry me if we were going to reach the final. And obviously, don't forget the managers that are still, involved in the competition. Like I've just mentioned, obviously Flick, but Enrique, you had Ancelotti at the time, you have Inzaghi. Like, how many of their managers have actually reached Champions League finals? I believe all 3 of them have. Yeah, they've definitely reached Champions League finals, haven't they?
All 3 of them.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, so that would be remarkable.
Enrique won it with Barca. Flick won it with Bayern, didn't he?
Yeah, Inzaghi obviously reached the final with Inter, but didn't win it. So, I think if we were going to reach the final, right, I reckon Barcelona would be a better opponent than Inter because...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but
their low block is our kryptonite, and I don't see us...
Yeah.
I don't see us getting past Inter. But Barcelona, what I've seen in that final, they played... against Real Madrid, they're weak from set pieces.
Barca, yeah.
Yeah, Barca. And they are open.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. But let's dive into this game then, of course, tomorrow. Ali Emirates again, first leg. I mean, we saw what happened against Real Madrid. We was at home again in the first leg. That 3-0 win. Just like
Yeah.
that. How nice would that be if we get a win like that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Firstly, guys, how important do you think it is to win? I know Rory, you said earlier that you wouldn't mind a draw tomorrow, but I'll start you, Ellis. How
Yeah, I
important
want
do
to
you think it
say.
is to
Sorry, yeah.
win the first leg, Ellis?
I'd say two. I'd say, considering we've already played them, and what was it? Was it
2-0,
2-1?
yeah, in the league phase, yeah.
Boys, I remember the first goal. It was Rice in the first few minutes. Again, Rice is getting popped up everywhere. He's making moves in Champions League. I want to say 2-0, but you never know considering his free kicks against Madrid, or like even if we play Timber as a right back, he can bring in goals. He can push up. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm confident. I'm going to say 2-0. But yeah, but just think PSG 5. It was 5-4 against Villa. They were really fighting for it. So Villa. So we need to be careful. If like our defense is going to be what Kiwior, Skelly, Saliba, Timber.
Yeah.
God forbid we play Sterling at right wing.
Nah. You would never.
Bruv, that is our game over.
Before we even started, imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine the cameras will pan to the bench and we'll see Sterling. We're like, no, move.
Move away.
We don't want him. He's just a bench warmer these days.
Yeah.
He's off to Saudi. He's off to Saudi next year probably.
Oh, he better be, mate. I don't want him in an Arsenal shirt ever again, to be honest with you.
No, I had to see him debut. It was the Bolton game when it was 5-1.
The Bolton, the
I had to see him debut, boys.
Yeah,
and that's probably the only game he's played well in. Like,
yeah, true. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I said the other day that he should be on the 3-6 Mafia, bruv. He should be playing football.
Yeah, but I mean, Ellis, you talk about going back to that game, the 2-0 game in the league phase, right, this season.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you, I ask you this, Rory. This PSG side, I mean, do you see a big difference now compared to that 2-0 league phase game in terms of how they play and the difference? And of course, I know they had a few players that played that game, but also they had no Dembele.
Yeah.
They had no Kvaratskhelia, who's came in and done wonders for them.
I was looking at the Villa match, and they were fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
And considering it was 5-4 at the end, quite close, I'm surprised if we get one or two early goals, we're gonna do what happened against the Villa or the or who do we play? Palace. Sorry, we're gonna end up what we've done against Palace. We'll get 2 easy goals in early time, and we're gonna bottle 2 and then at the end around 89 or just before that, they'll say 7 minutes added on in extra time, and we're gonna let a goal in. It'll be an easy mistake. So we just need to be defensive and we just need to just stay calm, get a ball, just get one goal and just stay defensive.
But I'll ask you this, Rory, first. Does it give you confidence going that we've already beaten this season? Would that play in the mind of Enrique, or do you think he's adapted this season? They're playing a lot more better football. It's going to be a totally different game. Because I look at it this way. I think it's going to be a totally different game, personally.
Yeah, I do as well. I reckon PSG will come to attack and they'll have most of the possession. I am fully expecting out of possession from an Arsenal point of view that both Saka and Martinelli are going to have to track back and help out Timber and Lewis Skelly because both of their wingers are frightening in Kvaratskhelia and Doué. We can't afford to allow them to have any sort of space whatsoever, or else they will punish us. No doubt about it.
That is, you can't sugarcoat that. Yeah, we'll get punished if we mess up easily.
Yeah, and obviously we've got to keep an eye on obviously Hakimi and Mendes as well. Like they can go forward as well. But at the same time, like defensively, I don't exactly rate them too highly. I mean, Hakimi and Nuno Mendes are quality. Don't get me wrong. I think Mendes is one of the best left backs, if not the best left back in Europe this season.
Yeah.
He's been excellent in the Champions League. So hats off to him. But obviously, Saka had his number the last time. The last time they both met, and I reckon that's where the game could be won by both sets of teams from both wingers. I'd say. Obviously, Timber and Lewis Skelly, I'd say, are absolutely outstanding. I reckon Timber him and Hakimi are two of the best right backs in Europe. So I think he's got a mammoth job to keep Kvaratskhelia quiet, which I think he will. I have faith that he will keep pretty much any winger on the planet quiet because Timber is that good when it comes to one-on-one situations.
Technical, yeah, he's quite technical.
Yeah, 100%. And then Luis Skelly, we know already, has rose to the Real Madrid occasion, hasn't he? Still, though, on paper, him and Kiwior are the weakest because Luis Skelly, again, 18 years of age. Kiwior, despite him playing really well since Gabriel's absence, he is still a weakling. And he has to obviously deal with Dembele through the middle this time. So he doesn't really have any breaks, does he? Right, he has to deal with Mbappe, which he did really well. But he also has to deal with Dembele.
I'd say Kiwior's goal against what was it? It was
Palace.
Palace, yeah.
Considering that's probably his only attribute to this season, I'd say that's probably given him a bit more confidence. I'm not saying it's going to be a massive one for him for PSG, but yeah, I'm with you. He's not the strongest member. He's not the strongest player. Skelly, as you said, he's fresh. He's 18. He's fresh on the pitch. But yeah, we can develop. We can adapt considering what we've done at the Bernabeu. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see what happens though in the squad.
Yeah, but in terms of our wingers though, as I mentioned earlier, Hakimi and Nuno Mendes are going to be vomiting forward, aren't they? So this could allow space in behind for Saka and Martinelli to utilise. However, PSG, when it comes to, I know I said I don't really rate them defensively too highly, but I think they have improved defensively in the Champions League as the as the competition has glided on. But I think the game against Nice at the weekend, was that a turning point for them? I mean, they pretty much fielded a full strength team, didn't they? Didn't even
basically, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't play second fiddle whatsoever. They just went for a full strength team where they could have easily just rested players and they lost 3-1. So I don't know whether that could shift momentum. I mean, it remains to be seen.
Could it be that? Yeah.
Obviously, we drew to Crystal Palace on Wednesday. It was it's a spineless performance, if you ask me. Hopefully, we don't play the same way as we did, because, bro, defensively against Palace, I mean, I know it's unusual to say, but we were having lapses. I can't lie. David Raya, Saliba, like, we can't afford to have any of them bozo moments because PSG, no doubt in my mind, will have them sort of opportunities. And to be fair, Real Madrid in the first leg did as well with Mbappe. So we can't afford to have any more lapses. We have to be just dead on perfect for the full 90 minutes. I know we are going to make a couple of mistakes here and there, but we can't have 2 or 3 because we can easily get punished. So
we need to be careful of like people tackling Martinelli because I was at the Brentford match when I was right in the North Bank with Harley, and we saw from our angle chopping from behind, literal scissor chop, and we were all shouting North Bank, red, send him off. From our angle,
about the Brentford tackle, yeah.
Bro, everyone in the lower North Bank, like the whole block, was all shouting red, send him off. He gives him a yellow. For any other team, that's nothing. It'll be play on or wait 5 minutes. It's one rule for us and nothing for Premier League teams. But it's like we had to rest. Were we resting players on the Palace match? Because I didn't really watch a lot of it.
I can't remember the team now.
We must have rested 2 all right players at least.
Yeah, Saka was on the bench.
It was the same back 4, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Timber right back, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Timber played right back. We had Saliba Kiwior. We had, I think, Luis Skelly played as well, if I can remember.
Yeah.
Luis Skelly played left back. Then the midfield was, I think even Rice. I remember Rice playing because I was saying before the game why we play.
Yeah, Rice played.
Yeah,
Partey played.
Yeah, Partey definitely played because he
Odegaard
can't play.
played.
Yeah, Odegaard. So it's a pretty full team really. And then you had Trossard as a false 9, I think. But yeah,
Sterling played.
you had Sterling and Martinelli.
Yeah, Trossard for me is he's not a 90-minute man anymore. He's more 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't exactly remember who played in the back four, to be honest. It was Saliba and Kiwior played.
Saliba, Kiwior.
But who played as the full-backs?
I
thought for some reason Ben White started, but then again, he wasn't in the squad.
Calafiori's still injured, isn't he?
Yeah, Calafiori's
I think his wife went into labour.
Yeah, but
that night.
Ben White's wife went into labour, so Timber had to play. And then I think Lewis Kelly played left back, which surprised me. Because Tierney came off the bench, didn't he?
Yeah, Tierney came off the bench, but was it? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Lewis Kelly.
Lewis Kelly was there. No one else was there.
Yeah, I was thinking Zinchenko for some reason. Did he not start?
Nah, I don't.
So Saka was the only one that was rested, pretty much.
Yeah, at least it's a star player who's getting like. At least it's not going to be 3 left backs. Who was it? It was the PSV second leg at home, and we had 3 left backs on the bench.
3 left backs playing.
Oh my god, bro! Instagram the next day was just laughing so much about. Oh, we're resting 3 players that are left back. They don't do anything. Zinchenko scored the goal. He done enough for us. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, looking obviously, you guys mentioned about Kiwior. Obviously, got the goal the other day against Palace. But overall, I think he deserves to be playing, man. This game once again. There's no reason to drop this guy, and he's really impressed. I mean, I've had my doubts about Kiwior. I'm sure you guys have as well. To be fair, I think especially last season. I know he's playing left back for majority of it, but some of the games, I think he looked. I mean, even at times this season against Mateta in the Palace Carabao Cup game as well. I remember, but since Gabriel's got injured, he's done a job, ain't he?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he's had to obviously makeshift at left back this whole time, hasn't he? And he's not really had like a proper run of games in his natural position. Now he's had a run of games in his natural position, he's actually starting to perform quite well.
Yeah.
And if he does become pivotal to our Champions League triumph, which obviously hasn't happened yet, but if we win the Champions League because Kiwior's starting as our centre back alongside Saliba, then I mean
he's going to get more game time.
I could see him staying next season. I really do.
Big up to Dom, by the way. Welcome, man. How you doing? How was football?
Yeah, got subbed in the last few minutes before I got sent off, mate. But other than that, all good.
You got sent off?
No, I didn't get sent off. I got subbed before I got sent off.
Okay, yeah.
What, so you got sent off on the bench?
No, I was subbed because I was on a yellow. I was
He's
on a
a
yellow
yellow
card.
card.
I was on a yellow card for 3 tackles. By the way, I'd like to point out I won the ball all 3 times. The 2 times I did foul, they were the ones I got away with.
Yeah, big up yourself there, bruv. But,
Dom, it's Ellis, by the way.
Hi, Ellis. Nice to meet you,
This
mate.
is Dom as well, yeah.
I think we went top of the league though tonight, which is not bad considering we're all, late 30s, early 40s.
Love that, man. Love that. I mean, we've been going for 40 minutes, Dom.
So have I. Can you see the red face?
Yeah, I can see, bro. Any bleeding leg today, by any chance?
No. Best I could do because it was that tackle, but no, I'm taking.
But yeah, I mean, Dom, let's I'll come to you, bro. We've just been talking about, of course, a game tomorrow.
There's a game tomorrow.
Really? Is it? Come around so quick.
I asked these boys the question before we even talk about the game, right? How far do you think this is showing that we've came, semi-final? Because obviously our last semi-final was 2009 against Man United, and we, as I said to them earlier, we were playing Europa League. We've been used to the Bayern Munich's, the Barcelonas, the Monacos, the Europa League games, and now with semi-finals, got a big chance to win the Champions League.
Well, we'd have been playing Conference League if it existed.
Well, yeah. Well,
really?
there we go.
To be fair, yeah, you got a point.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame it didn't. We won the trophy.
we could have got the double. You know, when we first won the league, 97, 98, we could have got the double there, boys. If
it's mad.
if they
But
bought it in.
how far do you like? How far? And do you think we can go all the way? Like, I know we'll talk about the game in a minute, but do you think this is the season where, we've got a very good chance of going all the way to win the whole thing?
Let's take the first one first. I think it shows how far we fell, more than anything, right? I mean, to get to the Champions League semi-final is a difficult and a good achievement. But obviously, what you want to be doing is winning. And I'd love to banish the memories of 2006, and I'd love to play Barca in the final because I just love the symmetry of that. But I think the fact we were playing in the Europa League so often and down the league, and we were drifting for years. Let's be honest. I know we had the odd FA Cup win, and that was paper over the cracks. And in some ways, the FA Cup win, Arteta has papers over the cracks, right? I know that was early on, but same sort of thing. But I think it shows how far we fell. So I think it's great to be back here. But it isn't. It's not the achievement we want, right? We want to be in the final and we want to win it. That's what we all want. But the reality is we've never done it. And to get to a semi-final, there are 5-6 teams every year that want to win this competition and good enough to do it. Only one can win it, and only 4 can make the semis. And I think we qualified automatically in the group. I think that was an achievement. I think we've made the semi-finals having beaten the reigning champions. And we've had to overcome a lot of adversity. I think what is helpful now is we're starting to get our best players back, and I think we're starting. I don't think we're still great to watch, but that's not the way this team is necessarily built. But we have improved significantly in the time, but it has to count for something, right? And I think I do think there are genuine mitigating circumstances around the season that I've said many a time before, but it has to count for something. But what an achievement it would be if we went on to win this. And I think we can, but I equally think the other 3 teams can, because I think there are 4 decent teams in this competition that are very well matched. Maybe different makeups in how they're sort of built as a team. But 4 teams are actually teams. They're not individuals, and they're 4 strong teams. You've probably got, Inter and ourselves are sort of the more defensive-minded teams, and Barca and Paris are sort of more attack-minded teams. And I think it's interesting the two are facing off against each other. So credit to the team, but work still to be done.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah,
spot on
similar
there.
to what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to ask as well, in terms of we're talking about what to expect from PSG, because obviously we played them in the league phase this season, the 2-0 win in that one at the Emirates. I said that they had some similar players in there, but we know they've got some new players, but they seem incomplete. Enrique's, as the season's gone on, he's adapted, it seems like, and they're playing some really good football. But I mean, Ali Emirates, firstly, I mean, Rory said he'll be happy with, I mean, he wouldn't mind a draw. Me and Ellis said, of course, I think we have to win this first leg, must win. But sort of firstly, what you expect from PSG tomorrow, and would it be in the world if we got a draw, or is it a must win for this first leg for you?
I think for me, you're right. Paris are a very different team now. I think I can never pronounce his name. Him.
Kvaratskhelia, yeah.
Kvaratskhelia. Do you know what? If it's written down, I can do it. But if it's not in front of me, I can't do it. My preview video earlier, you know how I do them no notes, generally speaking.
Yeah, no notes. You had to write it down. Yeah, of course you did. Of course.
I was like, it's not happening. But Kvaratskhelia. I've not written it down. I should have brought it up. I think him and I'm channeling my inner Luca from last week.
That's definitely what I was going to say.
I think him and Dembele, who of course missed the game against us earlier this season, both being available will give Timber and MLS a really good working over. And I think those 2 are going to be absolutely crucial for the game. And they're for the first time in years, and I sort of said it earlier, they look like a team as opposed to a collection of individuals, and I think that's sort of the story of this year's Champions League. So I think this is going to be a much harder game than it was back then. I think always in the first leg you don't want to lose and be out of a tie. So do I think a draw is the end of the world? No. Am I taking a draw right now? No. I think we're good enough to win this game, and I think you've got to aim for the win. But if we were to draw the game, I don't think the tie is over at all, because I think the way we are built means that we can hang in games all the way there, and I think that we're certainly not out unless we if we lose, I think it's going to be trouble. But I think even if we lost 1-0, I don't think we're out. But there we go. That was a bit of a ramble, but hey ho, you got there in the end.
Yeah, no, well said as always, man. Well said as always. So in terms of obviously team wise for Arsenal,
Oh, this is going to be interesting. I've been waiting for this.
yeah, okay, maybe Rory's got some bold decisions then. Maybe I'm looking forward to hearing it. But
Not
I'll come
really,
to you.
but
I'll come to you first, Ellis, bro. In terms of the team selection wise, what would you do personally? What would you like to see Arteta do for our predicted lineup?
4-3-3. I want to see a 4-3-3 attack. Proper Brexit defenders. I want.
You're bringing back Rob Holding, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll bring back what's from holding. I want to bring back the old Per Saka crunching tackles from 2010 boys.
I won the ball, all right. Ellis. I won the ball.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to see Rice get more opportunities, whether that's taking corner, like
On the free kicks.
We're basically set piece FC or we're corner FC thanks to Rice and Odegaard. Like we've seen Timber push up on the wings. We've seen Calafiori from a left back to a striker against PSV. We can all adapt. We can do a false nine easily. Like we can get Partey as a centre. Actually, no, don't play Partey as a centre back.
Partey's not even. He can't play. He's suspended. Yeah, he got
like he's a lot like. I'm not the only one who's saying this, but he's a liability on long shots. Partey for the past I'd say 2 years. The shot against Man United when we played away, everyone in Tollington knew it's not going to go in, but he does help us out in some ways, like whether that's winning tackles or
he's gonna be a miss, bro, because obviously he's yellow card, ain't he? If they bring up a game, he can't play.
I will say this now though. I think we're probably better off playing him in the second leg anyway. I think we could deal with him at the Emirates.
I hope so, man. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Those PSG fans are crazy.
No, they are, bro.
Like the Villa, considering how many. Yeah.
But what? So you'll go obviously Raya in goal, then back four you keep the same, yeah. You'll play
Saliba,
Kiwi, or Timber and Lewis Kelly.
Yeah, I'd go. Okay, yeah. So I'd say Rice. I'd say Rice on the right.
Yeah.
Odegaard. I'd say Partey's a CDM almost. He's a backup centre back almost. If anything comes to worst, I'm gonna say Martinelli left wing. We're gonna have to play Sterling, or we're gonna have to do
Saka.
Yeah. Or Saka, and then we'll see after 70, 80 minutes how he's feeling, and then Marino. Like
Marino as a striker, yeah.
Yeah, considering.
Who do you go midfield?
Yeah, who did you go midfield?
Yeah, he can go midfield. Yeah, it's up like.
Who are you putting next to Rice in midfield? Obviously, Odegaard one side, but who's the other side, Ellis? Sorry, I missed it.
I was gonna say Havertz is still injured, isn't he?
Yeah, Havertz is injured.
Jorginho's injured.
Jorginho's injured. Partey suspended. So it's either Marino or Zinchenko.
I mean, I probably shouldn't have run so hard tonight because I might need to play.
But it's not just me thinking, can we donate our hamstring to Saka back in January just in case for him to play?
Yeah. But so obviously with all this is like Partey's out, Jorginho's out, Havertz can't play there, so it's literally between Zinchenko.
I mean, Skelly could be a replacement.
Skelly could play there, yeah.
He could be a replacement centre back. He could centre mid, sorry, and we could get Zinchenko a left back, like
or Tierney, but yeah.
Oh, Tierney's a good shout as well. Like anything, the fact that we got 3 left backs on the bench isn't the best thing to flex about on a Champions League night, there, boys. But we've got options if Skelly wants to move out. But yeah, it's up to like whatever Arteta's feeling. I'm sure he'll make some sort of a decent decision. Whether that's going to be 20 minutes, everyone they click on, they think, where can we play this? Where can we win this tackle? But yeah.
I would recommend playing Zinchenko against Doué, though.
What? Not as a midfielder?
No, Zinchenko at left back.
Oh, at left back, yeah.
Oh, left back, yeah.
There's no way.
No, thank you. Midfielder is fine. I would. That'd be a good shout actually. We have him in the midfield. But There's I'll go to you next, Dom, bro. What would be your team selection? We make any change or keep it the exact same like
Well,
we
you
did
can't
against Real Madrid?
you can't keep it the exact same because Party's out, obviously.
That's apart
But
from
it's
Pie,
very,
sorry,
it's
yeah.
very similar. I think Rare in goal. I think Timber and Miles Lewis-Skelly at fullback are just necessities. I know people have talked about him in midfield, and he's a midfielder by sort of training, but he hasn't played there for Arsenal on the senior side. And there was a great stat about him, which means he's going to get dribbled past tomorrow. But he's the only fullback in the Champions League that has played over 3 games that has not been dribbled past so far in the Champions League this season, which is phenomenal.
That's
you know, and I think his ability to come into midfield as well. I've spoken before about it. The downside of that is it leaves space behind, which is where Gabriel was so useful because he covered that space so well. And I think that's why you see left back struggle defensively because they've got that little bit more to do.
Yeah.
But I think he and Timber are going to be absolutely vital tomorrow, and you just don't change that. Plus, give yours a weak link at the back. And I think
he's been playing well, Dom, recently.
I was just going to say, but he has been playing excellently, and I just think disrupting the partnership that he's building with Miles Lewis-Skelly and Saliba on either side of him, I just don't think you do that.
Yeah.
Particularly because if you keep a clean sheet out of this game, well, you're definitely in the second leg, right? Because if they don't score, they don't win. It's the old cliche, but that's going to be really, really important. And then that leaves you a question mark of who do you put next to Rice and Odegaard? And for me, it's dropping Moreno back like we did against Ipswich. Paris Saint-Germain's midfield is quite slight. It's very technical. But I think they did struggle with our power in that game early in the season. I'd say they're a slightly different side now, but I think that's slightly different out wide rather than in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not sure how you sort of combat power so well. And I think they really struggle with that. And it'd be interesting to see how they fare on that one. And I think that's where Marino comes in. It was Ipswich, but I thought he played very, very well there. And I've always said he provides balance to that left side when he does play in that left 8. So I think him in there is the obvious fit. Zinchenko, I think, is the alternative. I've heard people talk about Timber in 6 and Rice at 8, but not for me. Although Ben White's fit and would come back in there. But as I say, then it's midfield 3 of Rice, Odegaard, Moreno, and then Saka right, Martinelli left.
Ben White is available for selection though. I've just found out on the Arsenal app. Ben White and Marino are both available.
Yeah, they both trained today. Yeah, it's Calafiori they're out, Jorginho's out, and then obviously the long-term absentees they're out. So Martinelli and Saka on the wings, and Trossard through the middle. Ranieri will be the one to come on for Saka. And possibly Zinchenko on if Martinelli needs to come off at some point. With Trossard moving left and Moreno moving back up top, but I just think the pace down the wings of Saka and Martinelli is going to be crucial because Paris Saint-Germain has struggled against pace and power defensively. They conceded 3 again at the weekend. They conceded 3 against Villa. And I think those two are absolutely key. It's why I was frustrated to see Saka come on, whoever we played, Crystal Palace in last week.
Yeah.
By the way, I really love that green top on you, Rory. I love that. I love that kit.
Is that from this season?
Yeah.
Training top.
Oh,
it's a bizarre colour, but I think
it's about
£1
on the Arsenal app. Apparently, it's about £40.
Yeah, I'm not paying that because I'm tired, but
it is, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think this training top's probably better than all 3 of our kits, to be honest, this season.
It's a colour we don't have a lot of. Like we have all I think of is the 18-19
the green fur kit.
It looks it's like a darker version of that. But when we experiment with brighter colours, we get sales like proper like. We've had the Jubilee line? No, not Jubilee line, Piccadilly line kit. That was
real quickly. I played against a team wearing that kit the other week. I couldn't bloody see them. Genuinely, it was misty, and I passed it to them about 3 times. I had to get them to a bit.
Hold on, what are you guys talking about?
There was that London Underground.
London Underground, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well, they were wearing that, and I was playing against them, and it was misty. And I'm not joking. I passed it to them 3 times, and the referee literally turned to me and went, "You can't see them, can you?" I was like, "No, I can't see them." So he stopped the game and made them wear bibs because he was like, "I've never seen you misplace 3 passes in a game, let alone in a row." I was like, "I cannot." I'm 40. I'm getting old. I can't see.
Jesus.
Oh, man.
That was not.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, our kits. We do experiment with a lot of green now these days. Like, yeah, we had that one from last season, and that was probably
What, the third one?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
probably
I like that one, to be fair. It's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's
Which one? The third kit?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the green one with the AFC on the little.
I mean, did we win a game in that kit?
Yeah, we did it. What was it? No, not Luton Town.
Not
It was either
Luton, we wore
Bournemouth or something like that.
Bournemouth, we wore yellow, I think, as well. I don't even
No,
remember
like
the
in
game in that game.
2019 where we had that.
Oh, the 2019 Mink
Oh,
kit.
yeah, Liverpool. Liverpool was two. Liverpool because
No, we got
golden
smoked
boot.
5-1 in that.
Yeah, we got
kit.
smoked 5-1. I remember us wearing it.
Southampton, we lost 3-2.
Yeah, but we wore
Rennes, we
against
lost
Crystal
in that
Palace
one.
and we draw 2-2.
Do you remember Rennes? We lost that. Rennes, we lost 3-1 in that one.
Oh, yeah.
Rene, you got indigestion. Ren.
Ren, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
GCSE
coming
French.
from me after that attempt earlier at their, winger.
Caravacilia.
Boys, we've all got our traits in this stream tonight, boys. We've all got something to bring to the table.
Do you need to get out the Oxford Dictionary again, boys?
But Roy, what's your team, bro? What's your team?
So, obviously, Raya in goal. And I mean in goal, Raya. None of
Not
these
Neto.
piss break.
What's someone Neto, man? He's experienced. He played for Barcelona.
Josh,
Just
shut
one
up.
Neto.
Have you forgotten that PSG goal he bottles? Like it's almost like Ramsdale. It's like Ramsdale's younger brother, but just more.
I think we're just giving a chance. Percy. He's only played one game. I think that's a bit unfair.
He could have played against Palace, and you never
I
know
know,
what
he
could have
could've.
happened.
Yeah, raising.
But
goal.
yeah,
Points of
Raya in goal.
Yeah.
Raya in goal, but if he isn't in goal mid-game, then obviously Neto for me would.
So boys,
subbed
so
on
if
most
Neto comes on, let's say 2 goals minimum, he's going to bottle.
Back four. Now this is interesting because
He's going rogue.
He's going rogue.
no. You know what? I've been seeing plenty of assumptions all over Twitter, right, regarding the back four, and I've seen fans put Ben White at right back and then stuck Timber at left back, and then move Lewis Skelly into midfield.
That's a good start.
I think that's more sensible, funny enough, than moving Timber into midfield, which I've seen, but not for me.
Yeah,
Timber
I agree. I think Ben White's not exactly up to match sharp, and he's been in and out since his injury. So I like the idea, but obviously, if Ben White was, if he didn't have the surgery, then yeah, like I probably would have done that.
I think I agree. If Ben White's fully fit, I think you can look at that as a real genuine option.
Yeah, but I would go Lewis Skelly. I'd play Rice in the 6. I think he'll be pivotal to sort of like stuff out the threat from the likes of Vitinha and Charles Neves. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they actually play
single pivotal or double pivotal.
Oh,
I'll probably. Oh, for God's sake.
Sorry, I'll shut up now.
no, it's all right. It's all right.
Oh my god.
Oh, Neil. But yeah.
Oh, Neil.
Oh, there's some football jokes now. Okay. All right. Half time at the Columbia Mash. Let's look at possession. 7 of them that have been arrested for it.
We should probably get back to Rory's team.
But you're saying about Pivot, Rory, yeah?
Wait, I've got one more.
Right,
I've got one
go on,
more.
right.
Right
one
to
more,
the
go on.
6. Then I'll play Marino in the 8. So I'll go Marino in the 8. And then for this one, I'm going to go Waneri instead of Odegaard. Now, I know it's not going to happen.
Wow.
And I know, before you, man, do your Tacky's typical response, what? Right? Waneri, I think Waneri, right, is key if we want to hit PSG on transition, right? I've seen Villa do it plenty of times throughout that second leg. But obviously they've got Rodgers, who's probably the best in Europe at doing that. Ødegaard, what I've seen so far this season, he's killed us on so many transitions, whether that's because he's taking too many touches, I don't know. But I think Waneri would be perfect for this game. But obviously, you're not going to drop your club captain in a semi-final, are you? And it's not going to happen. But this is what I would do. I would play Waneri instead of Ødegaard if it was up to me. And I know it is bold, but we do have captains on the pitch, like Declan Rice, for instance, who obviously pretty much single-handedly carried us in that Real Madrid game. Obviously, everyone was superb, don't get me wrong, over 2 legs, but Declan Rice was the focal point.
Yeah.
So I think we can get away with not starting Ødegaard in this semi-final.
Well, I mean,
But at the same time, he will start.
he will.
We know that already.
He
But
has to, yeah.
I would start
Well, he will.
Waneri. And in the front three, I'd go Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli. I think with Trossard, right, he's in good form at the moment. He scored like 3 goals in 2 games. And he's a big game player. And in that Real Madrid game, I counted like 1 or 2, at least twice, right? Saka whipped it across, no one's there to poke it home. I think Trossard could thrive off that. Because one thing about Trossard, right, his instinct in the 18-yard box is decent.
I'll give you that, yeah.
And I think this is what we need. We've got to be taking our chances this game. So I think Trossard will bring us like a 2022-23 vibe when we had Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Marino, I reckon him starting up front, he's been brilliant up front, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we need a target man up there to hit PSG on transition. I think that's what we have to do a lot in that game, if I'm being honest. So I don't think we need someone like that, whereas Marino's link-up play is decent when it comes to, you know, as we've seen against Ipswich, and he can get on the end of crosses, and I'm not saying don't let him go forward. He should go forward and he should link up with Martinelli, why we obviously bought him for. So that's what I would do. I would play with Trossard. I wouldn't mind seeing Marino in midfield, and we just get more games there. And I would start Waneri over Ødegaard, to be honest. And
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know it's not controversial, but
your opinion, like we don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with. I mean, I agree in a sense that I would do the same as you, but we know, as you said, Arteta is not going to do
yeah,
that.
Ødegaard will start. And the thing is, right, with Ødegaard, I know we're going off topic here, but with Ødegaard, if he turns up from now until the final, in fact, no, after the final, right, he pretty much leads us to a Champions League, then his season is forgiven for me. If he leads us to a Champions League and he turns up in these last 3 games,
yeah.
If we obviously get there. But at the moment, we need to see a lot more.
Ødegaard's sorry, Rory, carry on.
No.
I mean, Ødegaard's undoubtedly had a poor season, right? And I think you're right on the captains, that we have got a load of captains on the pitch. And I spoke about the different types of leadership. And that's why I have no problem with him being captain at all, because, well, he's a quiet leader. He's obviously got a lot of respect from the coaching staff and the players. But you've got players like Gabriel and Rice that are sort of your more traditional leaders that sort of fans love, the chest thumping, loud players. And those guys will do that regardless of whether they've got the armband or not. So I think if he's not playing, I don't necessarily think you sort of have to worry about who's going to captain the side. But what you do lose when you don't have Ødegaard and get Waneri, poor as Ødegaard has been by his own standards this season, is he does still lead the press and he does still lead that sort of communication really, really well. And I'd worry that if he came out of the side, whether Waneri could step up and do that. And interestingly, on Ødegaard, and I didn't realise this because we're all sort of wrapped up in this narrative, and I think it's a correct narrative about Ødegaard's season being poor. It has been poor by any standards at that level, let alone his high standards, having been player of the season in the last 2 years. And he himself has said he's had a poor season. he's actually the third for most progressive passes into the box this season of any player in top 5 leagues in Europe still, and is in the top 10 for progressive forward passes just in general from deep, which I didn't realise, because when you look at it, you don't necessarily see a lot of what he's doing, and coming off, and I wonder whether it's sort of more of an instrument of the fact that the attack just hasn't functioned this season, which is where we're sort of seeing Odegaard drop off as well. I don't know, but he's certainly had a poor season, undoubtedly. And I think in the league, I would like to see Nwaneri get a couple of games there. The league's gone, so why not try him there? Because if Odegaard gets injured next season, in all likelihood, Nwaneri or Havertz, it would be one of those two starting. And Nwaneri could well be the long-term answer at that 10 slot. So might as well start playing him in the league. But I think in the Champions League, Arteta's going to play him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But in the Champions League, I just think those two elements there, three, the experience, that sort of leadership in terms of the press from that he does, and the fact that I didn't realise how many of those forward passes he was still making without necessarily getting the reward is there. And I just think those three things there. But Nwaneri, I think, looks a real talent and a real player, and that's why I'd like to see him get those starts in the league over Odegaard right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. What I want to do, guys, is I want to do a command 11 if you guys want. If you guys have got time.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, mate. Yeah, cool.
Go for a command 11 of both. What should we do? Based on the team, based on availability now, like so no Gabriel or overall.
Anything.
Whatever you like. Let me go and find a Paris Saint-Germain squad.
Right, let me start this layout. What is happening here?
Just load up FIFA, Dom, innit?
Oh,
Football Manager he plays. If he plays Football Manager.
Yeah, but it's old now, isn't it? Because they haven't done one this year.
Right, hold on. What is this free stream doing?
It's here, don't you worry.
Football Manager, complete it, mate.
Fair play.
FPL.
I'm so
bad
good.
this year on it. Can't complete it.
Right, goalkeeper. You got obviously Dario Raya, or you got Donnarumma. Now Donnarumma's been playing really well in Champions League. We know he's a king at the penalty shootout as well.
Oh yeah.
But Raya again is a quality goalkeeper. I think it's a tough one. But what do you guys go with?
Ooh.
I'm going Neto.
I think I've got Neto as well for that great goal he gave away.
Look, we all know he's Superman. Did we see him dive?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really rate Donnarumma that highly, if I'm being brutally honest. Yes, he has a good record at saving penalties. His reputation's decent, but I think based on the two goalkeepers so far this season, if I have to judge them both, I think Raya's had a better season. In my opinion, anyway. I'm trying my best not to be biased here, but
sorry about that, boys.
I reckon Raya has been a better goalkeeper than Donnarumma this season. Donnarumma's looked hella shaky in some Champions League games this season, like the Liverpool game in the first leg. I know they eventually got through and he technically won them the shootout, but the first leg, I mean, awful goalkeeping, wasn't it? So
he made some good saves in that the Villa game though.
Yeah, true. But I reckon he can be a bit complacent at times. I can't lie. Whereas Raya, yes, he's had a few mistakes in him. Like, what goalkeeper hasn't had bozo genes in them this season? I'm pretty sure every goalkeeper has made mistakes. So
are we going to do
goalie
or
right now,
or sorry, boys.
You've gone right.
I think this is quite an easy one, right? I think it comes down to, it's like the Leno-Ramsdale debate, wasn't it? We changed the style of goalkeeper. If you want a more Leno-style goalkeeper, it's Donnarumma. If you want the more modern style goalkeeper that can play out, I think it's David Raya. And for me, I think it's David Raya. I think he claims crosses as well, if not better. I think his shot stopping isn't quite as good, but I think his ability to play out from the back is excellent. And despite the mistakes in the last couple of games or last game from him, but it's David Raya for me. I don't actually think this one is massively close.
Yeah, and also when I watched Donnarumma, coming for crosses, like he's also pretty weak as well. Whereas, as you said, Dom, like Rya's probably one of the best goalkeepers in Europe when it comes to claiming 4 crosses.
Which is odd because he's actually not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
yeah.
I mean, remember the game, the last game we actually played against PSV in the league phase, that free kick we scored.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That's cool.
So
What?
I think it's Raya for me.
Raya, and Dom's gone Raya as well. What about you, Ellis?
I'll go Raya as well.
Raya as well.
Actually, I might go Neto just in case, boys. Just in case he pulls a masterclass.
All right.
Yeah.
It's warm today. I fancy a
go.
corner.
Oh, actually, I'll give you that one. Actually, yeah.
No, that was awful. There's no
You're
giving
a
me that. That was.
30-year-old man, Dom.
I
He
wish I was
wishes.
30. I'm 40.
All right, 40.
I was marking
sorry.
I
You're
was
a
marking a
40-year-old man.
17-year-old
Oh.
today.
So,
Marking a 17-year-old today.
I was marking 17-year-old today. I was like, I'm old enough to be your dad. And by the way, I still didn't clip him. I really genuinely won the ball before I absolutely wiped him out.
yeah.
All right, this is where it could get a bit interesting in terms of the fullbacks for me, because PSG got 2 very good fullbacks. Nuno Mendes, Hakimi's top class. But so do we. Timber's been unbelievable this season. Lewis Skelly's been unbelievable this season. What I'd personally do is I'll mix it around.
They got Lucas Hernandez, haven't they?
Yeah.
As well.
They got Pacho. They got that also Marquinhos as well.
Yeah.
But
Totally not googling the current team of PSG so I can contribute.
I won't lie.
but I would actually go Hakimi as a right back and maybe put Timber as a left back just to fit Timber in,
Yeah.
you know.
But then you've got Nuno Mendes,
considering
though, don't
he
you?
what is it? Considering Hakimi was with Messi and
Hakimi's top
Mbappe.
class, mate. He's top class as well.
Yeah, I'd say Hakimi at right back then.
Yeah, but then you've got Nuno Mendes. So how do you integrate Mendes?
Nuno Mendes has been one of the best left backs in Europe.
Yeah, you can't leave Nuno Mendes out. I think he's been absolutely outstanding. He's been superb, especially in the Champions League as well.
Yeah,
And a few goals as well.
The difficulty is as you point out, is both sides have got excellent. I mean, 6 goals and 12 assists, by the way, for Hakimi from right back this season.
Yeah,
as well.
It's incredible.
It's such a difficult one, isn't it?
I reckon these two, right, both Timber and Hakimi, have been arguably the best right backs in Europe this season.
Yeah, consider they are basically up and comers. Hakimi basically done what Haaland done. Both played Dortmund, get done for a bigger team. I'd say Hakimi has got a few. He's probably got 1 year more experience than him.
Probably a couple now. He went to Paris.
Yeah, he's been at PSG for a while.
Because he played with like Messi and Mbappe. So I'm gonna say Hakimi at right back just because of experience. Realistically, I know Timber got 6 out of 6 tackles.
Did he play
against
Inter
Madrid,
for a while?
Say that again.
Hakimi,
yeah, he was Inter, as well.
It always sounds like a Greek cheese.
Yeah, I hear that.
You want Hakimi? Yeah.
The thing is, like, so then what?
Yeah.
We're gonna leave out Timber and Lewis Skelly then?
I think it's one of those ones where you have to go
One for me, yeah,
because you really you feel sorry for whichever two miss out, right? Because all 4, for me, I go Timber at right back and I go Mendes at left back because I think Mendes is probably ahead of Miles Lewis Skelly. Timber and Hakimi are such different types of defender. It's so hard to compare the two. But that's where I go Timber and Mendes.
I reckon I've got to be, brutally honest here. I think you just cannot. You can't leave out Hakimi and Nuno Mendes. How much?
Okay, so would you swap both of them right now for what we got? Lewis Skelly.
No, I wouldn't, and I'm happy with Timber and Lewis Skelly. But what I'm saying is, Hakimi and Nuno Mendes in terms of just quality and and I'm not saying Timber and Lewis Skelly aren't, but it's just based on longevity.
Yeah,
I just think you've got to give them both fullbacks. I hate to say it, but I think if this was any other combined 11, it would be Timber and Lewis Skelly for me.
I think the other, I mean, I think, as I say, it's so hard to do on either way. But I think the other reason I quite like the Timber Mendes combination is you've then got sort of the more defensive fullback on one side to from across your three while the other goes forward. Timber, of course, capable of going forward, but you sort of attack with Mendes. You know, and I do like the balance that those two bring, but you know, I mean, this is
so tough.
Such a difficult choice.
What would you do, Ellis, bro? Just for you. Would you have Hakimi? Would you have Timber?
I'd
Mendes?
say Hakimi for experience.
Yeah.
But Timber is a good contender. Obviously, Timber played so well against Madrid. He got 6 out of 6 tackles, I remember. But people like our squad has been redeveloping since 2020. Like we went in with what David Luiz, Mustafi, and we're coming out with what 18, 19-year-olds who are winning, who are winning the first and second balls. What Willian, Mustafi, Rob Holding couldn't do, but experience. I'm just saying experience in general. Hakimi.
Yeah, and also what you've got to factor in as well. The last time we played PSG, Timber, I believe, got 100% dribble success rate, 100% tackles rate as well. So he pretty much bossed PSG, kept Barcola quiet, although it is going to be Kvaratskhelia this time. I'm guarantee it is going to be him rather than Barcola. So
yeah, unless he's injured or something, then you're exactly right. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, I think Timber will keep Kvaratskhelia quiet. I really do. I think I do have confidence that Timber will lock up any winger, literally any winger right now, after keeping Vinny quiet. For me, I've seen enough of you know what I need to say on Timber pretty much all season, and that is the fact he can knock up anyone. So,
but I think
Josh is going to have to make the final call here. There's no wrong choice here. I mean,
is there really?
No.
Yeah,
but I mean,
tough.
You got Mendes, Mendes has got to be the best left back in Europe right now. He's got.
I think so. Yeah, I think for Miles Lewis-Kelly's had one season.
Yeah.
Jurgen Timber obviously had his good season at Ajax. I was injured last year and then was back, so he's sort of had 2. So I think if you're basing it this season, for me, it's Timber and Mendes. But you know, I don't think there's a wrong choice. Like I really genuinely don't.
I'm gonna go Hakimi and Mendes, but that is the toughest one I think we're gonna get. Maybe this whole 11.
But we will see on the night, though.
We'll see on the night, of course. We'll see on the night. But
like if we can win 3-0,
I mean, the centre backs. I mean, Saliba's in there straight away. There's
Saliba definitely
about that. Gabriel,
I think pretty much makes it into every combined 11. To be honest,
I think Gabriel, if he was fully fit, they would be my 2 centre backs anyway.
Yeah,
yeah. I think our centre backs
got the best
defence in the.
We've currently got one of the best defences in Europe, thanks to Gabriel and Saliba. Like,
who goes alongside him though? Because they got Marquinhos, they got Pacho.
In the absence of Gabriel, for me, it's Pacho. Marquinhos is really. I mean, I'm hopefully not cursing this ahead of tomorrow, but I think Marquinhos, by all accounts, has struggled in the last few games. He's been playing.
Is Pacho better than Kivior?
I think he is.
Personally.
I think you've got. I've got to say. I think you've got to. It's a yes.
Because I ain't seen enough of him. That's why I'm asking the question. If you see.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen loads of him either, but you know, I look at it and go, he's played over 3,500 minutes this season so far for Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, you know, that's quite a lot. I mean, I haven't seen loads of him, you know, and Kivior, as I say, done well since he came in. I'd like to point out that I was a defender of Kivior.
You were, to be fair.
Which means he's going to have an absolute mare tomorrow. You watch. But you know, I mean, obviously, you know, he's nowhere. He's not at the quality of Gabriel and Saliba, but you know, who is really? There's very few. And if they are, they don't want.
Could we finesse this? Maybe I've just thought of this because we know Timber's a bit versatile.
Yeah, he is.
Can we do this?
No, not for me. I've not. He's not
We're going
played
to play
at
him in
centre half.
midfield.
No. Like this.
No,
Timber Stevens at centre back, Hakimi Mendes.
No, for me, it's got to be Pacho.
Pacho.
Gabriel goes in
It's
all
not
day
even
long
a
if he's
terrible
fit.
shout, to be fair.
We need to get Timber in this team somehow, bro. I'm telling you.
Who have we played out of position? Like, I can think. Look,
No, you can't
Like,
play him out.
You
Of
got to
position.
be
played
real with
who?
these people. We
from
got to be
like
real with
what
it. Pacho
our
goes.
time. What
If you-
Rory and Josh, like our time. Who have we got who's played out position? We've got like what Coquelin or someone. That's the only guy who I can think who's played out position, and he's not been shit.
Oh, well, half the Arsenal team do.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if we were doing an Ipswich, no offence to Ipswich, and Arsenal combined 11, then I think we're probably starting to move some players out of position to make it work. But we're talking about Paris Saint-Germain here. We can't be playing boys out of position, right? I mean, you could possibly switch a right left winger.
That's about it.
That's about
Like,
it. Yeah.
Seeing Sterling
All
play,
right.
I don't want Sterling as a striker. I'll prefer him as a sub left wing, and he will stay that way.
All right, midfield then. And our PSG got some really good midfielders as well. I mean, Vitinha's balled out in there. Fabian Ruiz, he's balled out. They got João Neves.
João Neves, big fan of his.
They got him from I think he's like 1980, 20 from Benfica. They signed him from. Zay Emery, I call him the BTEC Wanyeri. BTEC Wanyeri, this guy. But he's decent, but I don't think he plays a lot for them anymore because he's been more Vitinha, Ruiz, and Neves. But
42 appearances for the season, by the way, because I've got it in front of
who,
me.
Neves?
For Warren Zaire-Emery. Neves at 46.
Oh,
yeah, Warren Zaire-Emery
42.
42
There we
appearances.
go. Maybe he has played a lot then for them. My bad.
So, I mean, he must have played
I imagine a lot of them off the...
He played against Staff, didn't he? Yeah, in the first game.
Yeah.
I would imagn a lot of them off the bench,
okay.
though, Josh, because these are just appearances. So, when you look at it, I'm looking at their midfielders, and 5 of them have got over 40 appearances, but there's only 3 of them that play in there. So, this has got to include bench appearances.
So,
right?
midfield, I think, obviously, Declan Rice is a no-brainer in there for Arsenal straight away.
Yeah.
I think he's in there. There's no questions about it.
At the 6.
Where does Vitinha usually play? He's more of a.
Oh, see, I'm not having Vitinha.
Are you not?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Not for me.
No, it's Charlie Vitinha for me.
Oh, Neto. Oh, Neto, boys. That.
Oh no! You need to fill Ellis in, man. He don't know anything about this. He don't know anything about Vitinha.
No, I have got genuinely. I'm not having Vitinha, but I am having a Paris Saint-Germain midfielder.
Ruiz or Neves?
No. Well, possibly Ruiz, but I'm going for my double pivot first. I haven't gone for the 10 yet.
Okay.
But I'm going for João Neves.
Okay.
I think he has covered ground. I've been hearing a lot about him from Paris Saint-Germain fans, really talking him up. I've seen bits and pieces of him this year, but not a lot. But you always see the best bits, right, when you see clips. So I don't put too much store by it. But I'm hearing a lot of Paris Saint-Germain sort of journalists talking about how he's covered the ground, reads the game really well, makes pivotal interceptions to sort of win the ball and play out. But his progressive passing is something, and it was something I was really, sort of heard a lot about him when he was playing in Portugal. It's why his sort of fee was sort of so high. So for me, I'm going with João Neves sort of in a double pivot with Rice because I think them both can get forward well there. But that's my two. In there, obviously, if we're going 4-3-3,
4-3-3, yeah, because both we might. I think it's fair because both teams play the same formation, don't they? To be fair,
yeah.
So we go 4-3-3. But what would be your midfield? Because for me, it'd be Rice, Ruiz. It'd be Rice, Partey, and Vitinha, but Partey's not available, is he? So we don't have availability. Rice, Ruiz, and Vitinha.
I think you can probably call Partey available because although he's available for this one, he is available for the second leg.
He goes in for me. He goes in. It might. But what about Rory? What do you do, bro?
I reckon it's Rice, Vitinha, and Neves. To be honest, are we including Partey?
Yeah, including Partey now.
Yeah, Partey's an option for you because he's suspended tomorrow. He's obviously available for the second leg.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would go Partey, then Rice and Vitinha.
Vitinha.
I reckon he's one of the best midfielders in the world.
Even though, I mean, it's a good shout from Dom about Neves.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of Neves.
I mean, Vitinha's had the bigger and longer career, like
Have you
no
got his
question. But
name?
everything I've ever heard about Neves is excellent. I'm just hearing so much positive stuff about him as well, which is for me why he goes in there. I think the one I'm struggling with right now is who's the more attacking one, because I don't want a
Yeah,
party
that's
Neves.
true. To be fair,
Right, it's too defensive, right? If you look at when we played Moreno, Jorginho, and Rice earlier this season, it's sort of a similar sort of style. Obviously, you're talking about a couple of better players in there than Moreno and Jorginho, but I think it sort of lacks something. I think you need a sort of more attacking spark. I mean, if I was just doing it on ability, it would be Martin Odegaard, but he's had such a poor season, he can't be in this side for me this season. And I think it's probably got to be Fabian Ruiz for me for that sort of wild card, more attacking option.
That's a good show, actually. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
what would you do, Ellis, in the midfield?
I was going to say the exact same. Rice, Partey, Vitinha. Vitinha's got experience. Partey, basically, and Rice, considering Madrid, PSV. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Fair enough. So that the attack again, they got some brilliant attackers, man. I mean, Kvaratskhelia, Dessa Doué, Barcola, Dembele.
Yeah.
And then for us, we've got Saka, obviously, Marino up front, doing his thing. To be fair, Martinelli, Trossard. I think Saka's got to get in the front three for me at least.
Yeah, Saka's going to come in.
He's no question. Yeah. And it's my favourite guy on the left as well from Paris.
Do you want to pronounce the name again?
Come on, let's do it for the fans.
Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, yeah, that's decent.
Not bad.
We got it in the end.
Yeah, I've got it written down.
Oh, you cheater, man. We thought you done it for real.
But yeah.
No, otherwise I'd have messed it up. By the way, I found out what I play for the Haaland has-beens because we're all getting old, and I found out that our logo is Latin. Sort of our motto is Latin for "Once upon a time we used to be good."
Oh my god! But yeah,
1-5-1 tonight. By the way,
there we go. Dom and he's
Two
unbeaten
great tackles.
Greeks, mate.
I'm not getting sent off.
When was the last time you lost the game, Dom? By the way.
We've won all but one from the first in our last 7. And
the Dom effect, mate. The Dom effect. Yeah. Jeez, he's a goat, mate.
Yeah, I got done 3 times for all 3 of their goals. I couldn't run. I literally couldn't run.
Oh man. But yeah, what would be the attack for you guys?
Saka,
Kvaratskhelia on the left, surely.
Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, yeah? Simple as that.
I was going to say Dembele has to get in there.
So no Doué?
Neither side has a proper number 9 to that.
Nah. I mean, PSG got that Ramos guy, but I don't think he's any good.
Nah. They obviously sold Kolo Muani, didn't they?
Yeah,
He's got
Muani.
He's got no. Is it on loan or?
I think it's a loan.
He's on loan, I think.
To Juventus.
Yeah.
Right. So Dembele. So no Doué?
Nah.
I'm a big fan of Doué, but no, I think not quite for me yet.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna do this.
I can
go on then, read it out.
You just put Kvara, bruv.
Where are you? TSK HELIA.
Yeah?
Yeah, you could just put Kvara, to be fair.
Yeah.
That would have been easier.
Do you know what I should have done? I should have just filled out some random letters. You just type it
away. But yeah, that's the my 11 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 PSG players, 5 Arsenal.
I never knew you could count.
but yeah, there we go.
That is basically a good balance. Like,
yeah, there's no bias there
whatsoever. We've got we've got agility, we've got mentality, we've got awareness. I'd say that's probably the best we'll get, unless we switch what.
Are you talking about the panel or this combined 11?
But both. I'd say the left wing can either be switched for Martinelli if he's on a good game. But aside from that, looks amazing, boys.
I think Kvaratskhelia has to be in just on consistency over
Okay,
Martinelli.
fair
cool.
point, yeah.
Martinelli, I think,
Good
has played
job,
well recently. To be fair, but I think Kvaratskhelia has been consistently good. I think if everyone's fit, I think the one change you probably make there is Gabriel in at the back. But that shows how even the two teams are, right? You're going
yeah, that big
6-5 the
debate
other way
about
with
Timber
everyone
being
fit.
in, and because how good the fullbacks was as well. To be fair,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I think the fullbacks are right 1-on-1 because I think there's the two that miss out, feel hard done by. My only problem is that midfield is combative
no
without necessarily
creativity. To be
creative.
fair, yeah, I hear that.
But I think if everyone's fit, I think there's an argument. Partey comes out, Odegaard comes in. If everyone's
On
fully
form,
fit,
yeah,
on form,
yeah,
on form, not this
yeah,
season.
exactly.
To be clear,
Overall, on form, yeah, like, yeah, 100%, bro. But yeah, that's like a 11 right there, people. Let us know your thoughts on that, and let's get score predictions. I'm going on the fence, 2-1 to Arsenal for me tomorrow.
Same. Yeah, same.
Have I copied you, Ellis? Yeah, 2-1
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, because yeah, when we're talking about this, we're thinking first leg. We don't want to concede too early or too late. But even though like Madrid was important to us, we wanted I was gonna say 2-1 as well.
Oh, actually, do you know what? I'm changing. I'm going 2-0.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
2-0.
say mine 2-1.
Bastard.
I'm going 2-0 tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'm changing. I'm changing.
No, that's all right.
I'm changing, man. I've got a
like,
good feeling. I feel like it's
You never
gonna
know.
be
Neto could win a goal.
stirring off the bench, yeah,
Why?
Ellis.
Why did you have to change?
Neto
Because
could be a
my
super sub.
mind just like, you know what? We did Real Madrid 3-0. We're at the Emirates. I don't think we conceded the goal in the Champions League, have we, at the Emirates yet?
no, that's
PSV.
always worrying.
No. Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, mate, I was there.
Flipping
I was there for
2-2
PSV.
game.
We haven't conceded a goal from open play in a game that matters.
There we go.
Yeah. Boys, we're not counting. We're counting that as a second leg that didn't need to be played. Considering I spent an arm and a leg on that ticket. My auntie ticked any other seat, and she paid about 170 for hers.
170 quid.
And it's like 4 rows down. Here, I'll try and show you on my phone where I
That
sat.
game.
Yeah, like
I would understand if it
basically.
was Real Madrid in the first leg, mate, but PSV.
No, I was in Budapest. Yeah, I told you I was in Budapest
Yeah.
for the Madrid. Where was it? When was it? Yeah, this is where I. Yeah, if you can sit. Oh, I need to take my one set. I need to take my
The green screen's in the way. Yeah.
Yeah, my green screen's in the way. No background. If you can see, that's 4 rows down. Where £30-40 for a ticket on match day.
How much did you pay again? 133.
My auntie got 170 for hers. Mine was 60.
Oh, 70,
But
60.
because her account was linked to mine, I saw she ticked any other seat. I was like, you shouldn't have done. Yeah, but here, this was the Brentford match because Harley told you he's in the North Bank and I'll sit with him.
Yeah.
It was, I'd say, about here was the tackle on Martinelli, about there.
Yeah.
Considering that's our angle, we could see from behind.
Oh, yeah, that must have been bad, bro.
Yeah.
But you gone 2-1 tomorrow, Ellis, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair
I want
enough.
to say Rice can get another goal in. Come on, like considering he bopped 3. He's bopped 2. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Rory, what's your prediction?
I said 2-0 as well.
Hooray!
I've had it with the 2-2 predictions, by the way. So I'm saying.
So it's 2-2 tomorrow.
No.
Then, Rory, yeah?
God.
2-0.
2-0 as well.
I'm watching it end 2-2 tomorrow.
Oh,
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's going to end 2-2 now. If it ends 2-2, I'm blaming you entirely.
I mean, funny enough, the Arsenal Crystal Palace game ended 2-2, didn't it?
That's different.
Yeah.
That's
Where, I mean, Crystal Palace in the last couple of games, are they having their own goal of the month?
yeah,
competition?
mate.
Well, mind you, Brighton gave him a run for their money with their goals
Yeah.
the weekend.
What's your prediction, Don, man?
Well, I like to be a bit different,
Yeah.
as you know. So I went earlier tonight on video, so you can go and check it. I went Arsenal 2, Paris Saint-Germain 0. Saka with a Panenka? Anyone?
Not. He hasn't got
mean-
the
About
best.
that.
I mean, listen.
I want to say Martinelli can. Well, I want to say Martinelli can score a header, but you never know. Rice could score a pen, or you never know.
Kirill could score a bicey.
Yeah, in FC 25, but on my career mode.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Not sure even that's realistic, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fair enough. 2-0 as well.
Scorpion kick
Fair
from
enough.
him.
Yeah, man.
Right, one out.
Did we all go 2-0?
Ellis went 2-1. That would concede.
I'm just thinking because of the Villa match. I'm just thinking first leg. I just don't want us to if we concede early.
And the counter attack with PSG was, they've got really good counter attack, man. So
Yeah. They've got such pace on that.
Yeah.
counter.
what I wanted to wrap on, guys, is a bit of good news about Saka. So an agreement's been reached between Arsenal and Saka over a new long-term contract. Is that how do you say that word, Dom? Formalities.
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 Yeah.
Formalities.
Still to be ironed out, but the main things
Josh,
have now
come
been
on.
agreed. Send me back to school, mate. Fucking hell, I can't even say that word. Come back
Sort
to
your grammar out,
bruv. Yeah. So yeah, look.
Well, at least Josh has completed all 4 of us now, not being able
Yeah.
to solve tonight.
But yeah,
This-
coming by Team News and Tick saying that Saka's reached agreed a new contract. I mean, some fantastic news there, people, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, Ellis, I'll come to you first. How big is this for Arsenal, man?
I reckon he's going to get a statue in about 10 years. Considering Ian Wright's been rumoured to get a statue, and it's been long needed. I reckon I'm going to say he's like a Mark Noble now. He's basically like a Mark Noble. He realistically, I'm
interested to know where you're going with this comparison, because I'm trying to figure out how he's like Mark.
no,
Noble.
no, like as like the club legend. Sorry,
Yeah, I'm with you.
not like the West. Okay,
Not going with the World Cup winning captain for West Ham or Trevor Brooking. You're going with Mark Noble at West Ham.
yeah. But yeah, like considering he was out for 3 months, people saying, "Oh, we should have bought someone in January sale." In January, we were confident and we adapted. It's nice to think that people still have hope. Like, if you
I hope it kills you, mate. I hope
if you remember, well, Pat from Arsenal Fan Focus. He was saying, if we wanted a player that badly, because we got recommended Watkins on the last day.
Oh, I wish you got him.
And we were all saying, if we wanted him that badly.
Can I just factually correct on Watkins? By the way, the bid from Watkins came in far earlier than the report. It was about a week to 10 days earlier that Aston Villa approached us about Watkins, which is partly why our bid was so low. Secondly, the bid was low because we could only actually offer a little bit more. We could only go to about 50 million. And obviously, then they sold their other striker, whose name escapes me now, which meant that Watkins was off the table.
Okay. Thanks for correcting me. No.
Sorry, I
thought...
no. It didn't come. It didn't come out until a couple of days afterwards. That actually, all of that happened far earlier than reported, which was quite an interesting one. But
yeah.
But apologies, carry
thanks,
on.
man. I thought he was recommended on the last few days, but if we really wanted him that badly, we would have got him in recommended, or like considering he would have been a striker. Marino could have been a centre mid. Like if Havertz didn't get injured a few weeks later when training in Dubai, that's about it. I've got nothing else to say. I've got work tomorrow.
Me too. But I mean, on Saka, as Josh has gone for a wheel or something. I mean, if this is correct, then I think this is obviously excellent news, right? I think you've got some big contracts coming out. The Saliba, Gabriel, Saka, Martinelli's got 2, but he's got an option for 1, and there's one more as well, but I can't quite think who it is at the moment. That's in that sort of 2-year window. If this is correct, this is huge news, right? On Bukayo Saka signing, and I think he's the one I'm most confident about signing, to be honest with you, because of his connection with the club. I do think, though, that these are the contracts now where we have to deliver trophies while they're here. Because if we don't, Odegaard's the other one, Noodle, someone else. If we don't deliver trophies with these sort of new contracts that we're getting, we look like we're going through the process of getting done, then we are going to lose them very, very quickly. But signing them up now, and Saka, if this is true, signing a contract now, when these discussions have probably been going on for a while. We know Miles Lewis-Skelly's been going on for a while. Odegaard's been going on for a while. Gabriel's been going on for a while. They predated Berta, and they're being finished off now because they're never simple. They take time. But if they're signing these contracts now, that shows that despite the difficulty of the season, these top players, it appears, if these contracts get signed, that they believe in what's happening still and believe that this year, whilst not gone as hoped, is sort of the abnormality, the abnormal, the anomaly. That's the word I want. The anomaly in the sort of progression of the last few years, not the sort of decline. And that's clearly what they believe. And I think Saliba is the one that I'm most worried about. But Saka signing hopefully will be a domino effect for the others falling. Because he's called Star Boy for a reason. He's the poster boy of the club.
Yeah, definitely, man. Rory, what do you think?
By the way, Voodoo Doll Game, I don't think George Graham can have a statue because he didn't have a brown envelope to sort of bribe the board to get one.
Fair enough.
That is a joke, by the way, before anyone sues me, right?
Well, Rory, what's your thoughts on Saka new contract, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge that the agreement has been put in place before the end of the season because obviously we've got a busy transfer window and we don't really want to be haggling over, contracts towards the end of the window when we should be signing our priorities. So it's huge that it's come now. Obviously, we've not heard anything from the top journalists, the most reliable ones, but I saw it coming, to be honest. And I've said for ages that I think Saka will, commit his future at Arsenal. But Saliba and Gabriel, I've maintained that I think both of them, out of the 3, are more likely to leave than Saka. Although Saka has a strive of winning trophies, and I'm sure he is desperate, I think his love for Arsenal doesn't go untended, in my opinion. I think it's still there, and I don't see him leaving anytime soon, to be honest. So
yeah,
I saw it coming at some point. I think now it's just obviously Saliba and Gabriel. Hopefully we get them two tied down, because if we do, then that's the spine sorted,
Odegaard as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just checking. Josh, I'm trying to see how many views your video got from the PSV match, because Pat, we've hit just under 12k followers on TikTok in about 2 months. And
what you mean the first leg? Or the 7-1-1?
No. It was either Dynamo or it was either Dynamo or PSV or PS. You've got
when I went on your channel and did it.
Yeah,
on your
it was
channel.
PSV. Yeah, it was a second leg. It's on about 4 favourite, 66 likes.
Jesus,
just under 900 views. But that was one of our early videos. So
that's good, man.
Me and Harley's one. Where is it? Yeah. I'd say probably around that Chelsea match when we started getting like 1,000 views per video, and then
That's
Pat's doing lives now. But yeah, I think.
No, keep it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. Well, there was a little thing that happened at the Wembley, but aside from that, it's not bad. Yeah,
Yeah, man. No, keep at it, keep smashing it, bro. You guys doing great. And what I like about it, like you do it before the game as well. You know, you interview before the game. You know, like you know, you got AFTV. They always do it after the game. So I don't think they ever do it before, do they? You know, they go and interview the fan before the game. So you're doing it. You're getting their predictions, getting their thoughts. So it's really good idea, bro. So yeah, definitely keep at it. But yeah, 100%, bro. But yeah, that's everything, I think, guys. We've all gone.
Actually,
Go on.
second thought. Can I quickly change my prediction?
Oh no.
He's going 2-2.
I have to go 2-2 just to be on the safe side.
I hear it, though. Fair enough.
I can't. I'm too apprehensive. It's going to backfire on me.
But yeah, that's
Rory Desmond 2-2 over there.
Just call me a Desmond.
But yeah, let's shout everyone, man. Ellis, we'll come to you first. Thank you for coming on the channel first time, and hopefully many more, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Anytime I'm down, really.
Of course, bro.
Yeah. I'll be in London tomorrow. I don't know if you want me to like meet up. I don't have a ticket, but if you want to like if you want to like quickly meet up.
They go in Box Park, I swear.
I don't know if they are.
Oh, they're not anymore.
I don't know if I'm allowed to come because I'm 17. Because
fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know. I went the first leg. No, I went for Madrid, but that's because they need my help. But I don't know if I'm allowed to go.
Fair enough, my friend.
But
yeah. They can find you Arsenal Fan Focus TV, right? I put it.
Yeah, Arsenal Fan Focus TV. That is TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm usually the cameraman. But we've had Josh on here a few times. It's been lovely to be on here, mate. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, bro. You're welcome any single time, man. Of course. So big up to you, Ellis. And Don, bro, you want to shout anything? Anything you got? I know you're uploading every single day. He's like me, you know, every single day upload. But yeah, big up Don,
7:30 or 8 a.m. You know, you're getting there before everyone wakes up, right? Yeah, I have a preview out now. I have a discussion on Arsenal's midfield tomorrow, which, you know, if you watch tonight, you know, don't need to bother watching tomorrow because I've told you. And I'll have match reaction tomorrow. As always, it will be a short immediately after the game. Mostly because then I can go to bed because I've got to get up at 5:30 for work. And I've got a video which I recorded today that's going out on Wednesday morning on a very interesting topic that is so interesting I can't remember what it is.
The best tackles
I remembered.
From today.
Oh yeah. I still won the ball.
Yeah.
Then I nailed him. But I won the ball before I nailed him. That's it. So it's continuing the sort of series on. I've not really done too much on transfer links right now because there's a lot of talk, a lot of rubbish, etc. around. But I did one on Victor Osimhen the other day and why that's a really complicated transfer to do and why that narrative around why that's difficult to do is something Arsenal need to consider this summer and fans need to consider when thinking about the transfer window. I've got another one of them coming out on Wednesday about a different player we've been linked with and why that might have an impact on how Arsenal sign from a different perspective from the finances. So that's a short coming out on Wednesday morning.
Do you remember who it is, Josh?
Yes, I can. It's Dean Huijsen. And why that's not a simple transfer to do, because in theory that should be simple. 50 mil, there you go. But obviously,
they say it's installments as well, don't they, Dom?
Yeah, 3 installments is 17 million
pounds. I actually nearly called you John.
I'll answer to everything. Although at one point today I went screaming forward and I shouted Frodo's ball and I forgot that none of my teammates know I'm really called Frodo, and he didn't move out my way. But yeah,
there we go, man.
But yeah, no, I thought that was. I would make them a slightly longer video because I like the longer videos, but I'm just trying to grow the count because I'm obviously still 6 months into this. So
you're doing brilliant, mate.
So I'm doing this. I'm doing a short there, which doesn't quite do it justice, but hopefully gives you a gist.
I've just the channel, so
yeah.
There we go. 110 now. You're at 110 subs.
110. And
110 giveaway. What do I get?
I'm 6 months and 1 week old, I think, as of tomorrow morning.
I saw you on what was it, the Big Blue channel, right? The other day.
Yes, I hosted for NFL fans. I hosted from 12:30 a.m. my time till 4:30 a.m. my
Fair
time.
play,
I
mate.
then went to
Fair
work
play.
on Friday morning.
What, like 5, 6 a.m.?
Practically dead.
No, I didn't go into the office. I worked from home on Friday. But yeah, I did that. So it's Tim's channel, and he was in MetLife Stadium, which is Giant Stadium.
He
So
came on,
yeah,
didn't he,
I've
as
got
well? at the
family
same
and he
time?
came in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was brilliant, mate. That was
Yeah.
brilliant.
So I was running the board from downstairs.
Was you happy with the draft?
Oh no, we ballsed it up completely as
expected.
Yeah, so we took a player that we have two. Basically, we already have 2 of those players. So we thought, I know, let's sign a third one that does exactly the same thing. That's pretty sensible. We can, that's smart with the 3rd overall pick. And then I thought, brilliant. We traded up. I was like, brilliant. We're taking a quarterback. We can't win without a quarterback in the NFL. Brilliant. The number 2 quarterback's on the board. Surely we can't mess this up. He's still there. No. We took the 3rd best quarterback in. We are. People complain about Arsenal, but Giants are beyond stupid.
Are Giants like Coventry or something?
Giants. There's 32 NFL teams, and the Giants, are one of the biggest in theory. But the love of the NFL is that
You got
you've got the draft and that. So if you're the worst team, you get the better players. So in theory, it should be should rotate round as to who wins.
Yeah.
But we've been shit for 10 years.
I go America quite a bit because I got family friends over there. So yeah, you got like what? You got Eagles. You got.
Let's not talk about them.
You got Eagles. Not. you got what? You got the Dolphins. You got. Okay, you got Rams, Chargers.
Might go faster if I do all 32 for you.
Patriots. No, I'm thinking of Patriots, Giants.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. I'm trying to think now. The other ones, yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys? Jets.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys, Jets. Yeah. Trying to think now. What is it? Colorado.
No. You got Cincinnati Bengals, but Colorado don't have a team.
Bengals, yeah.
There we go.
But there we go.
Okay, so NFL Raiders as well. That's
they were very shit, very shit as we are. But yeah, no, that was good fun. Good. It was.
We've now gone from Arsenal to NFL here, boys. Well done. This is
NFL show now.
But that was good fun. That it's worth getting up for that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good man. Rory,
Until Saturday when he catches up with me.
Rory, what are coming up on your channel, bro?
Most likely a watch along and match reaction for the game.
Nice.
Perhaps I don't know. I don't know the afternoon. No, actually. Yeah, because I've got a 2-hour lunch break. So yeah, perhaps either the afternoon after, if that makes sense, or straight after the game.
Like, I'll be in London.
Right, it depends on the adrenaline. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah, I've got 8:00 start tomorrow at Amazon in the kitchen. I'm working at the corporate office in Holborn.
You're a chef, right?
Yeah. I've got work placement, so I'll be making food. So
I'll swing on by.
Huh?
I'll swing on by.
Yeah, I
get my breakfast at the Co-op on the Strand.
Come to Holborn Viaduct and you can get a nice fried breakfast.
Oh, I love that.
I'm too tight to pay for the tube.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. But I finish around. I'm going to probably finish around 3. So if you want to meet me, Josh, if you want to link up or just anything, tell me and I can get from Farringdon to Holloway Road or Arsenal or anywhere. Even if you just want I don't know, I'll tell you tomorrow, but anything really,
let me know, man. Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah.
We'll sort something out. No worries at all.
Yeah, sweet.
But big up everyone who coming on the chat as well as always. Appreciate everyone. And yeah, we're back tomorrow, match day tomorrow, guys. Looking forward to the game. We'll catch you guys there.
Come on, you guys.
Come on, you guys, every single time.